I mean, all over the world, big corporations are trying to exterminate the peasants. And the main difference is that maybe in the north, they are further away in realizing their project. Because in Europe, what we are left is 2% of the population are peasants. And so we are weaker than in the south, that's for sure, because we are fewer and because we are at the heart of capitalism. So they went further away than in the south, but we need to resist together. There is no other way but to resist together. And so in Europe, for example, part of the main struggle is to make sure that the youth can become peasant. That is key, because if we want to rebuild food sovereignty, build agroecology, build peasants' rights, we need to make it with more people. And we will not be able to implement this vision without working together at an international level. First, it's very clear that we wouldn't be in this mess if we wouldn't have had these big neoliberal policies, because countries which still are with food sovereignty, they are not in this problem. The countries which are facing huge problems right now are the countries which prioritize exports, food exports and food imports over producing food for their own people. I think that there is an emergency right now to make sure that these countries who have been made dependent on imports for feeding their people, that we make sure that people don't starve. And governments have a huge responsibility, but also the UN bodies, they have a huge responsibility in saying, okay, right now we stop with the WTO rules, because these rules kill people. And so they need to be stopped immediately. The food prices need to be linked to the cost of production, and they need to be accessible for the people which have become dependent on importation because of all these neoliberal policies. So stop speculation. The third point is that it's not possible that agricultural products go for energy production rather than for food, because this is starving people. So no way. Agricultural products have to go for food, not for fuel. And then another point that I think is important is that we need to make sure that the countries have the right to develop agricultural policies. And one important point in agricultural policies, it's about public stocks, because that was always the role of the states, to ensure that there are no hunger crises. And for this, we need to have public stocks of food in all countries. But because of WTO, they have banned these stocks. So we say no. Right now, the states are responsible to make sure that there are no food crises, and for this, we need public stocks.